the aircraft is the image layer behind it. Then I've got a new layer on top of it for this carpet data. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a portion of this, such as this much, and I'm just going to try to get this to kind of be a nice little tile pattern across. And I'm not going to spend a whole heap of time on this, so I'm just going to see that it's good enough for government work. Alright. The other thing I'm going to do is see if I can get this bled out a little bit more. That's good. Alright, do the same on the other side. I'm just multiplying it out so I can get a little bit wider on the field here. Okay. So, let me grab a little repeat here. And we'll take it to right about here. Alright, so there's the rug or the carpet inside the aircraft. And what I'm going to do now is, using my flood select tool, I'm going to switch to the aircraft layer, and I'm going to select, using zero tolerance, this area outside around the aircraft, and that's essentially just kind of that background around the line work. Because what I'm going to use that for is, like I said, you can create a selection on one layer, whether it be a carpet or an image layer, and use it to manipulate information on another layer. So these flood tools need to be greatly improved in performance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to my image layer and use that selection to just cut away at the carpet data, like that. So you see how I just deleted the selection. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the carpet layer and I'm going to move it down below the aircraft layer. So the aircraft overlay is on top and the carpet information is below. I'm going to use my flood select to pick up areas, oopsie, got to be on the right layer, to pick up areas inside of the aircraft, and when I delete that information, it reveals that carpet below. So, like I said, there's a lot of restrictions to what you can do with carpet layers. You cannot draw on them, but you can erase portions of them either by deleting a selection or by using the eraser tool. So I'm just going to select these little areas of the fuselage here and delete them to create the carpet revealed through. Now, it's important to note that my palette hasn't changed. So all of this information for the aircraft is completely separate from the information from the carpet. The quantity counts are only for the carpet information, and it's completely ignoring what's being seen. In fact, if I turn off the aircraft layer, notice these quantity counts don't change, because the quantity counts are the information that's actually carpet data. And even though part of that carpet data is being obscured by this image layer, it doesn't affect the quantity count. So what we're actually getting is the size of the true carpet, not just the portion that we see. So let me zoom this up, and here's the fun part. To create presentation graphics, I'm going to take this this layer for the aircraft, and I'm just going to kind of turn down the opacity a little bit. And now, this type of presentation graphics that used to be very difficult to do in Texel because you had to create colors for all of this information that was now in the palette and was starting to quantify information. We can now create this type of graphics completely independently from the carpet data.
It's great.
Somebody follow me? Is this exciting or what? You guys all
No, very
excited?
exciting. That's fantastic.
So now, instead of having separate documents for presentation and production, this document is essentially both, kind of, sort of, depending on how you set it up. The information that we're using for the presentation overlay or underlay is independent of the actual production data. And what we can do is we can create all sorts of powerful different what's it called, kind of effects. Notice we have our blending mode back. So let's say you want to take part of the image and use it to, you have to start playing with these. You have to start playing with these different settings just to see what kinds of things that you can do with them. Because what we can do is, I think I can create an XOR type image. There we go. So your creative freedom is now unlimited almost in what you can do with presentation type graphics versus production type graphics. Now, the next thing that we can use these, have some refresh issues here, hold on. Okay, the next thing that we can do with these different layers is we can convert from one to another. Here on the layers menu, whenever we have a carpet layer, we can convert it to an image layer. And whenever we have an image layer, we can convert it to a carpet layer. In order to take a high color image and make a lower color image out of it, we have to color reduce it. Let me just get rid of some of my interface. Put this over here. Now, Texel does the same thing. We can open a true color image like this, and when we reduce the colors, we can specify the number of colors that we want to reduce it to. We can specify how it processes it. I don't know what this photo and flat means, but whatever. We can also choose a palette for the color reduction. For example, if I load a palette, I've got there's my palette, and I'm going to use this palette to reduce the image. And then it does its work, and it's all happy about it. But we don't really get any control over what's going on. For example,
Yeah.
Excuse me?
When you use your palette, you can actually select the colors from the screen.
With the eyedropper, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here you can, this guy, you can pick up colors.
Your palette.
We hit reset, and then you can click in the screen.
Oh. Yes, that's something that we're going to do as well. Now, the bottom line of all this is, however it decides to do it, it gives us the result, and then we're either happy with it or we're not happy with it. So, what has been the theme in Quantum? of all the tools that we've created for this type of workflow, what is that one theme that we've tried to maintain so that we get a little bit more feedback? Anybody? The theme in Quantum is that everything that we do is in real time, so that we have real-time feedback of what's going on. We can see here in the same way, we're using the exact palette. We can choose to create a histogram palette in which, as we add colors, we see the palette that results. We see the result from the process. And then whatever we create, we've got real-time feedback of what's going on. So these three methods to create a palette, the exact palette